Some people don't understand how challenging taking care of your cats at certain times really is. There are many cat videos showcasing the cuteness of these furry family members. Their quirks are just so endearing and they are an endless source of pleasure and entertainment. Yet, there is very little shared about the hardships of this journey that we undergo together when we make the choice to share our lives with kitties. Life gets busy, and you don't always have the emotional and physical capacity to allocate the extra care and resources your cats need when they are not well. By not well, I mean showing signs of discomfort both with their behavior or with less than perfect health. If you're watching this video, I want you to know that I get it. You are seen, heard, and understood. I want to dive a little deeper into this and see how you can still provide good care even when it feels like you are pouring from an empty cup. Let's discuss. Hello, lovely cat parents. If we haven't met yet, my name is Paola Zanibelli Davies, feline holistic care and behavior specialist, helping you and your cat live extraordinary lives together by unlocking the secrets of natural remedies and positive training. Because not having alternative options should not be an option. If you're watching this on YouTube, I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel so that I can help more cat parents and their kitties. My goal this year is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and maybe if you feel aligned with my content, you can help me to get there. Now, let's get into today's topic. So, if you ever have felt guilty because it was just all too much at some point and you dropped the ball, I hear you. So, taking care of your cat sometimes is a breeze, and we all love the benefits of having cats in our lives. Sometimes, though, life gets busier, more stressful, more complicated. Sometimes it just happens. It is not even because we made bad choices. And when you are facing a behavior issue or a health challenge with your cat, it can really get to be too much to deal with at times. Now, this doesn't mean that we just forfeit our duties as cat guardians because we still have a duty of care and also a loving disposition toward our kitties because we love them. But it does mean that we feel the burden of things financially, possibly emotionally, and physically. I have just read three posts on Facebook this morning where those cat parents were literally at their wits' ends. So one had extra hours at work, an obnoxious boss would not allow her any shift change at all. She needed to keep her salary coming, which meant that she felt that she had to keep that job going. But she also had a personal health issue to address, and on top of that, her housemate was arguing with her, constantly creating a very unpleasant situation in her house. Things clearly were just spinning out of control. And when her cat got sick and was howling without ever stopping, she was in such a state of distress that she medicated him with gabapentin, hoping for the best as she had to leave for work, feeling absolutely awful with worry and a ton of guilt. Now, another person was talking about the despair of seeing her cat getting back to flaring up with pancreatitis after she thought that she was finally out of the woods after going through months of medicines and trips to the vet with her bank account gradually depleting and her cat still not doing well, all while her kids were getting into serious trouble in school and her husband was fighting to keep his job. So, yeah, she was in total disbelief that the medicines were not working, and her pet cat was in pain, clearly, and she did not know what to do. She was starting to have really a lot of anxiety, actually, panic attacks daily. So, the last post was a cry for help by a woman whose cat kept peeing outside the litter box relentlessly. Her cat's favorite spot apparently were her pillows, her couch, and even her lap sometimes. So you can imagine the strain that this put on her marriage as the house started to smell like urine and she had no idea how to make it stop. She said that she was distraught, that her cat was clearly exhibiting signs of stress and discomfort, but she also was dealing with issues with her in laws, a huge project at work that she was in charge of, and a close friend of hers just died. So things were just a little edgy as a result. Now, I have put together several plans of action for several clients that we have needed to tweak to adapt to something that they could actually do and follow through. We do this all the time inside the Holistic Cat Care Jumpstart because the aim of my program is not to create overwhelm and vomit a bunch of training over my students. I know nobody wants to be vomited on, even with lessons. So we live in an era of information overload where we need to screen what is useful and what we need to discard at all times, from the second we wake up to the moment we go to bed, so that we keep our brain working properly. And I'm not here to convince you to get into my program, because if you're dealing with a stressful situation and want a plan to make at least your cat care easier to manage, more affordable and more efficient, and you know you are ready to make things easier for yourself, you can easily either sign up for the Jumpstart using the link in the description, or even apply for a free Catalyst call with the link down below, so that if you qualify, we can discuss the next steps and give you some clarity about your situation and what you need to do next. Because it is very important to me that you feel safe in your transactions with me. And if you need to speak to me before considering coming on board the Jumpstart, you should be able to. Now, as I was saying, if you're finding it hard at the minute, it's okay. It happens. Take a deep breath and let's see if we can put some systems in place so that you can handle the distress that, the situation is bringing at the moment. I want to give you 3 tips, however, to instantly uplevel yourself when taking care of your cats gets a little hard. So, first of all, guilt is a very damaging emotion that will not help you move forward, but you must forgive yourself for feeling a little short on resources sometimes. Guilt is useful for guiding moral behavior and keeping social harmony. Without guilt, we would obviously all be a herd of psychopaths, but it can become damaging when it's excessive or not directed appropriately. Understanding why guilt can be harmful is an important step, especially when you're trying to lead a balanced and compassionate approach to life, including the nurture and care of your cats. There are many reasons why guilt can be a damaging emotion. It impacts mental health because it can lead to anxiety, depression, and even low self esteem. It can make you feel unworthy and unable to offer value and contributions to others, including your cats who need your care. It hinders personal growth because when people are overwhelmed by guilt, they may become stuck in a cycle of self criticism and rumination, focusing on past mistakes rather than future growth. And this can prevent them from learning from their experiences and moving forward in a positive way. It also strains relationships because it can lead to overcompensating behaviors, resentment, and lack of communication. Not sure if you have ever noticed, but people burdened with guilt usually withdraw from others, which lower the quality of their relationships, including the relationship with their cats. It leads to also unhealthy coping mechanisms because, in an effort to alleviate feelings of guilt, individuals might resort to substance abuse, overeating, or self punishment, and more. These behaviors can have long term negative effects on both physical and emotional well being, making things worse in the long term. It also distorts decision making because it can cloud judgment. In fact, decisions made out of guilt are often not in your best interest or the interest of others, including your cats, as they might be based on a desire to alleviate the guilt rather than on rational or compassionate considerations. It reduces enjoyment of life because there's nothing like persistent guilt to sap the joy out of life. And this makes it difficult to enjoy simple pleasure, to celebrate successes, or to feel grateful for what you actually have. If there is one thing that can help you during tough times is being present, live in the moment and really try to avoid dwelling on the past or worry constantly about the future. And finally, it can inhibit forgiveness. And we go full circle here, both self forgiveness and the forgiveness of others, because it can lock you into a cycle of self blame that makes it really hard to move past mistakes and to forgive yourself or to accept forgiveness from others. And forgiving yourself for not being on top of your game at a difficult time is really, really important. Now, the second thing I want to say is, remember that tough times don't last, tough people do. Life is really hard sometimes, but think of the hard times that you have experienced before, and I bet you can find gifts arising from those horrible times, things that you learned, things that you overcame. And being resilient when life is slapping a fish on your face is really challenging. I am not discounting that for a minute. Sometimes you are just so tired with all that is going on. But if your cat is unwell and extra care is needed, really try and find an ally to help you put a routine and a plan in place so that you don't have to stress about it and scramble through conflicting advice and information that is just likely to overwhelm you. I am here to help, and if not me, choose a professional who can listen to you and lighten the burden for you because you need support in difficult times so you can make it through and help your cat in the process. Now, finally, focus on your wins. Seriously, stack anything that is an achievement, even a small one, in your success pile. Really focus on taking one step at a time because the only way you're going to climb a mountain is little by little, one step at a time, focusing on what's in front of you. You can't pour from an empty cup, of course. So make sure you take enough care of yourself, select your non negotiables wisely, and honor your priorities. Sometimes inside the Jumpstart, I direct CAP parents to go through a particular module first to quickly address the thing that they need the most. And then we have calls. Calls are very important because when life is stressful and your cats are unwell, it all becomes a lot to deal with. Sometimes you need to learn to provide syringe feeding. Sometimes you need to give your cats daily medication or supplements. Sometimes your cats need sub-Q fluids and you want some guidance with that. And you don't want to ruin your bond in the process because that adds to the stress of it all. You probably just want to make your cats feel better without constantly running to the vet when it's possible because that hurts your wallet. And again, it also adds stress to the whole situation. So the calls are really important, as I was saying, because that's where we can tailor a plan to you, to your specific circumstances, and make sure that the plan that we draft is feasible for you so that it can really support you at a time of need. Now, if you already know that support is what you want, you can come on board the Jumpstart by using the link below. We can onboard new cat parents every day because the Jumpstart is there to help you through a crisis or just after a crisis for easy, optimal maintenance. So it would not make sense for me to have you wait months until I decide to open this program again and launch because if you need it right now, you should have it. If you're not sure yet, though, and you are curious if this could be potentially the solution that you're looking for, then we have a different option for you. We can have a chat. I am a real person and I'm happy to assist you. You have the option of applying for a free call, the Catalyst call, and this is something that I offer to anyone who fills up the short application that I link below and qualifies. So if you want to have a chat, get some clarity about what to do next, and see if this container is potentially what can serve you best at this time, just apply using the link in the description below. I also offer a free guide on 5 steps to healthier cats. So if you think you can benefit from that, you will find the link to download this free guide also in the description below. And I just want to leave you with this. You can definitely play an active part in your cat's health. When things seem that they are like spinning out of control, you can take some of that control back in your hands. You don't have to take the options that you're initially given if you don't like any of them. In most cases, there are more things that you can do. Be proactive, be resilient, and when life is messy, take a big breath, look for support so you don't have to do everything alone and try and focus on the positive stuff because one step at a time, you will move through the sticky situation that you find yourself in while supporting your cat too. You are an amazing cat parent just for being here and wanting to still take care of your cats at your best, even at times of strain. Don't lose hope when things are difficult. Trust yourself and reach out if you need a different perspective. I will see you next time. And until then, love your cats as much as you can.